It's the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Miami Heat. And now we send it out to American Airlines Arena. Kevin Clark and Steve are there.
Greetings, everyone. 2K Sports brings you the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan. I'm joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11 pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4. And for the Heat, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11 star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the power forward. Bosh, guarded by Green. LeBron dishes to Chalmers. Shot clock at 6. And the pass to Haslam. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. 4 seconds. 4 on the shot clock. Wade kicks to Bosh. Offline from the top of the key.
You know, one of the stranger things of Tim Duncan's Hall of Fame career is how his free throw percentage has fluctuated from season to season, guys. Some years in the 70s, others in the low 60s. Last year was a good one for Timmy, though, as he shot well over 70.
From deep LeBron, and that one's good. LeBron's got his first 3 points of the game.
And there's the first bucket of the game.
Yeah, that's a nice tone setter out of the gate.
Green kicks to Splitter. He passes to Parker. The feed to Duncan. Tipped away. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Going back to Duncan's free throw shooting. Last season he changed his routine and shooting motion. He doesn't do that long pause anymore. And the numbers he put up last year were terrific at the line.
I think he found the right balance. He used to shoot the ball too quickly. Once he released it, this is a much smoother stroke than we've seen from Duncan. That's why he shot better than 80% from the foul line for the first time in his career.
That's good. LeBron's got 5 now.
You know, it went down, guys, but still unusual to go to the leaner there with so much space around him.
Here's Parker. Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. LeBron passes to Bosh. Back to LeBron. Haslam. Good ball movement here by the Heat. LeBron dishes to Chalmers. Wade, guarded by Green. Wade against Green. Gets it to go.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
Still looking for that first bucket here to start the game.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
I asked him about how his team was going to handle the veterans of the Spurs, and he said there really isn't a whole lot that Duncan and them haven't seen, so you can't surprise them one way or another. Really, it comes down to us being as careful with the ball as they are and being efficient in our possessions. Sounds simple enough, gentlemen.
All right, Doris, thanks. Again, the miss by the Spurs. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Parker's shot is off. The Heat leading by 7. LeBron with it. Guarded now by Duncan. LeBron drives in. Now Haslam inside. Elbow shot. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open. You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Parker kicks to Bonner. That one wide left.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And Steve, you have to think that at least one or two of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Bonner passes to Bellinelli. Parker outside. He dishes it to Diaw. Diaw gets a screen from Parker. Diaw and Ginobili. Here we go. And Allen with the block. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Allen leading the charge. Cole dishes to Battier. Passes it to Cole. And it's Miami with another.
What a start they've gotten off to. A big lead for them, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
And it's not just their hot offense here. I mean, they're playing very strong defense too, guys. You know, Shane Battier was such a great addition for this Heat team. Really a coach on the floor. And since they added him to the mix, guys, guess what? 2 straight championships.
Cole's shot is good.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
Here is Bonner, defended by Anderson. Bonner kicks to Parker, and they get it, and he drops that one in. And Steve, you look at Shane Battier, his ability to cross-match and guard fours down low is one of the keys that enabled the Heat to go small, especially 2 years ago when they were in the finals.
Yeah, and in the regular season last year, it was very successful for Miami. That's why they shot those threes so well, because they had the floor spread. But Battier always willing to take on that challenge physically. The question, though, is when you go against a guy like David West or even Carlos Boozer, it gets tougher. And so in the playoffs, Miami has had to maybe go small a little bit less often.
He's a winner, though, isn't he?
No question.
Here's Bellinelli, defended by Allen. Now Bellinelli. And that's not going to go. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Heat. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Heat here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
And it's really been a dominant effort on the glass. That's been the key here.
Yeah, they've established nice low post presence, which always tends to help you on the rebounding battle.
Spurs trail by 11.
You know, I thought San Antonio really was an outstanding team. Fun to watch, excellent at both ends of the floor. But one statistical thing that stood out was they defended at a high level without committing a lot of fouls. That takes discipline and smarts.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, almost an unbelievable stat, but back in 2007, LeBron finished the season shooting almost 48% from the field. Since then, he's improved his field goal percentage every single season for 6 straight years. Last season, shooting over 56%. A lot of that has been his dedication to playing closer to the basket. LeBron famously said of posting up, quote, "There's nothing fun about it." But since he's made that commitment, Coach Spoelstra said, quote, "He has completely transformed himself as a basketball player. And in the process, he has completely transformed us." 2 titles back it up, Kevin.
That's why he's a champion, Doris. Thanks.
Yeah, such an amazing talent. He impacts the game in every way.
Clark, as you said about that Spurs team, just a team that does not foul very often. Doesn't give away free points. And, Steve, they led the league in fewest fouls last season.
Well, that's part of Greg Popovich's mantra. I mean, don't give up anything easy. You can't guard a free throw, obviously. You can't guard a fast break. So important for the Spurs to avoid fouls and take care of the basketball and be efficient offensively, and that helps their team.
Splitters checked in for the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. Duncan, the pass to Parker, and there's the call on Bosch. That is his first foul of the game. And here in the second, with about a minute and a half gone by, Leonard dishes to Duncan. Parker against Chalmers. 5 on the clock, and that one's good. Parker.
And that's his forte, finding that angle and then aggressively attacking the rim.
Seems like every year, guys, you look at Tony Parker and he's found something else to add to his game. He's always improving.
Back to Wade. Good ball movement here by Miami. Haslam can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 9. The drive by Green. Leonard. Soft touch off the glass. Last season for Tony Parker, arguably his best ever. 20 points a game, almost 8 assists. 52% Steve from the field. There was even talk at midseason about maybe MVP consideration.
Well, his ability to score inside around the rim is amazing, but he's also become a master of knocking down the jump shot from that 15 to 18-foot range. But really, this team has been built now around Parker. Their offensive strategy completely tailored to suit his talents.
And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. There's the dish to Green. Back to Parker. Wide open. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. And now just a 5-point Heat lead.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
And so here is Miami. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Wade kicks to Bosch. Right side Bosch. Feeds to Haslam. Got a piece of it. Leonard with the steal. Parker passes to Green. It's stolen by Wade. And Chalmers kicks to Wade. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers.
He's so reliable. His offense seems to be consistently there for this team.
You know, when something works for you, you stay with it. The Heat saw after the 2012 finals that small ball was very effective for them. You can see why they chose to do that, given how hard it is to find a power forward that can match up with LeBron. Makes good sense.
Wade dishes to Bosch. Wade kicks to Chalmers. Clock at 6. It's Bosch with the drive. Count that one. Bosch has got 4 points in the quarter. And this match is really what make an NBA offense go at times. Not only can Miami overpower you, Steve, with their sheer talent at times, but if you're trying to guard a perimeter player with a big, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, some people still see small ball as a gimmick, but, for Miami, it's different because you've got LeBron James playing the power forward. So it's not really small ball. He can rebound, he can defend, he can do everything. And so the Heat become a nightmare to guard at the other end, and you can rarely take advantage of them offensively.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, fellas, Greg Popovich, known for his sarcastic, sometimes contemptuous answers to some of the questions from us media members. He said it seems to entertain everyone but his wife. She tells him to cut it out, be a grown man, and show some maturity. But he said, I can't. I simply can't do it. Guys?
Yeah, he's a piece of work, isn't he? Thank you, Doris. Leonard against LeBron. Two open. That time made it look too easy. Leonard's got his second basket of the game.
What a great little run he's on here in the quarter.
You know, the more you watch Kawhi Leonard play, the more you realize that he is the perfect fit for the Spurs. I mean, he just looks like a Spur, and he's only been in the league a couple of years. Plays great defense, shoots from deep at a high rate, and really knows, accepts, and embraces his role on the team.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. San Antonio making a switch here. 51 seconds left in the first half of the game. And back to Kawhi Leonard. Coach Popovich sees him as their defensive stopper on the wing. But not just that. He thinks he's going to be a star in so many ways.
Well, he could become the face of the franchise, Kevin, if you think about it, once Tim Duncan and Parker and Ginobili move on. But, you know, Popovich, not one prone to hyperbole, but he absolutely loves this kid.
LeBron passes to Anderson. Splitters there. The kick out to LeBron. Lets it go from deep. That is good. LeBron's got 10.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
Chalmers against Parker. Knocks it loose. The finish, and then Wade slams it in.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And so we conclude the first half. Heat out front. They're up by 10.
Now, presented by Sprint.
NBA basketball on a Saturday night. Oh,
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
San Antonio needs to do a better job guarding against LeBron James.
He's got 10 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
Green inside, working on James. But from Green, the shot no good. And Miami the other way now. And Haslam kicks to LeBron. He feeds it to Bosch. Pass to Haslam. It's stolen by Duncan. About 1 minute played here in the second half. Parker kicks to Green. And it's good, and the assist by Parker. Green's got the first points of the second half here for San Antonio. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their fourth game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. And that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
Wade for three. Offensive rebound, Heat. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. He's covered by Leonard. The drive by LeBron. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. LeBron's got 13. And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, Battier coming in here as a stretch four. They've just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Heat leading by 9. Back to Bosch. He kicks to Chalmers. Good ball movement here by the Heat. LeBron dishes to Haslam. Inside to Bosch. Dwayne Wade on the wing. LeBron outside. Launches it. It's hauled in by Tony Parker.
Every great player needs someone to push them to be better. LeBron said last year that, that's what Kevin Durant does with him. And I think he works as hard as he does, knowing that Durant is coming to try to take his spot as the best player in the league.
Dishes to Chalmers. Kicks to Haslam. Inside to Bosch. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Bosch has got 6. And going back to LeBron for the time being, he's solidified Clark is standing. I think everyone would agree is the best player in the NBA.
Well, how about 4 league MVP trophies to his credit? One of only 5 players in league history to win that many. One of only a few players to be both MVP of the league and MVP of the finals in the same year. So, enough said.
Splitter is checked in for the Spurs. Bellinelli comes in for Tony Parker. Wade kicks to LeBron. Back to Wade. Pass to LeBron. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Right side Bosch. 6 on the shot clock. That's tipped. Here's Bellinelli. Bellinelli off the pick from Diaw. Ginobili attacking. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. Spurs making a switch here. The Heat leading by 9. And Cole kicks to Allen. The pass to Cole. There's the feed to Wade. He dishes it to Allen. Here's Cole. He's against Parker. Here's Cole, covered by Parker. And it's Cole missing. Spurs trail by 9. Parker passes to Bellinelli. Diaw, it's blocked. Allen dishes to Cole. Gives him the lead pass. On the wing, Dwayne Wade. Allen outside. Passes it to Cole. Sinks the three-pointer. Cole's got 7 points in the game. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Miami.
Now, we've seen them make that extra effort rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace, really sending shots back.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
Miami's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Kicks it out to Allen. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Allen's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
One of the great shooters in the history of the game. I mean, Ray Allen is just amazing with that deep range, incredible accuracy. And he can also put the ball on the deck a little bit once or twice, pull up jump shots, get to the foul line. Allen's just one of the most consistent scorers we've had in the game for a long time.
And he's rehearsed that motion for so long. It's automatic. I mean, it's something he can do in his sleep. He doesn't even think about the situation or the defender. He eyes his target and lets it fly.
It's LeBron with the drive. Gets it to go. LeBron's got 15 points. 19 seconds left here in the third quarter. Parker off the pick from Bellinelli. Diaw, the screen. Parker outside. From deep. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know.
Guys, you go back to the shortened season a year before last, and the Spurs were the best team on the road. But last year, they weren't nearly as dominant on the road. Still solid when leaving San Antonio, but far from the level they played at a couple of seasons ago.
Chalmers working against Parker. Now, here's Chalmers, covered by Parker, and the basket by Chalmers. Chalmers has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Miami. Spurs trail by 15, and for the Spurs on the road last season, they would still win 23 games in hostile territory, and while that is more than the 22, Steve, they won in the shortened season, they also lost a fair amount more as well.
Well, for the Spurs, Kevin, I think they did what they needed to do. You know, the Spurs manage the regular season. They know when to turn it on and when they can maybe relax a little bit. But the big thing is they just want to stay near 500 on the road, protect their home court, and be healthy going into the playoffs, and that puts them in a good position.
Allen, he's covered by Ginobili. Just 5 to shoot. Fires top of the key. Allen, that's good. And the Heat lead by 17. And Clark, they've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, I think so. Too cool. I mean, just not forceful enough, not alert or aggressive enough. And sometimes trying to do too much with the basketball.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to make the easy pass. Somebody's open, throw it to them. When you do that multiple times, the game starts to find a flow to itself.
Miami's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Hey, last season Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league, but what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there, taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
He's played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter, so he can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Here's Bellinelli, defended by Allen. Here's Parker, 6 to shoot. Rebound by Mario Chalmers.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
LeBron with it, now guarded by Splitter. And Haslam kicks to Bosch. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Marco Bellinelli picks one up.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Diaw comes in for Splitter. And it's Ginobili in for Bellinelli. Ginobili the pass to Parker. Leonard on the wing. They get a hand on it. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. And for Bosch, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls, and you know the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller, and Bosch can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
The dish to Chalmers. Back to LeBron. Good ball movement here by Miami. Allen kicks to Bosch. Feeds it to LeBron. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Tell you what, LeBron can absolutely soar in for the finish. I remember last year, the alley-oop in the conference finals against Indiana just almost put his head on the rim.
Air freight is a nickname we could dub LeBron James. I mean, he's an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Defensively, the strength, length, mobility. He can wall you up and lock you down and put you away. One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Timeout called, the Heat.
And as you might expect for the team with the second best record in the West, the Spurs dominated the East last season, played each team twice for a total of 30 games, and went 25-5 in that stretch.
The Spurs making a switch here. Wade outside. Back to Bosch. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. And Clark, back to what you said about the Spurs in the East, it was far and away the best record against the conference, Steve, for a team in the West.
Yeah, the second best record was Memphis with 22 wins. So kind of scary to think that they rested their big stars a few times against teams in the East, and they were still able to put up that kind of a record.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found the weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
Not often you see a team rely on that shot like they have.
Splitters there. Leonard with the steal. He passes it to Parker, and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
That is not a difficult pass. You'd think they could keep it in bounds.
And so here is Miami. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Haslam dishes to Battier. It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Leonard. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Battier, the pass to LeBron. And they double him up with LeBron. Inside, here's Wade.
Ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
And Ginobili, here we go.
An 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
He feeds it to Parker. 1:24 left to play in the final quarter. Ginobili attacking. It's blocked. Now, here is Battier, defended by Splitter. Battier kicks to LeBron. And the shot falls short this time. Spurs trail by 21. Ginobili left side. Parker up top. Shoots from the high post. And it's Haslam with the rebound.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Pass to LeBron. 41 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That's good from Battier on the assist by LeBron.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
It's Ginobili with the drive, and the shot is good.
Boy, he picked him out brilliantly with that feed inside.
26 seconds left in the fourth. LeBron dishes to Wade. Wade left side. He's against Parker. Haslam inside, covered by Duncan. They're whistled for a blocking foul, and he'll head to the line. He misses the free throw. The Spurs making a switch here. He's off on the second. Now Bellinelli. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The first free throw is good, and Miami making a change here. All free throws good from Bellinelli. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, that'll do it. For Dorisburg, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long.